Ain't nobody dancing to this bullshit, dog. Ain't nobody dancing to this bullshit, dog. Like, nah, nah. But what did you think?
Yeah, a disappointing attempt at a summer album. I genuinely think that Tyler, the creator, can run circles on Metro Booming with this sort of a genre.
Yeah, of course he can. Of course he can. But yeah, anyway, what's up? What's up? What's up, TMC viewers? TMC viewers, thanks for the fantastic week that we had last week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to comment your thoughts. Yeah, let's get into the video tonight. Well, today we are we are reviewing Metro Boomin's brand new album, A Futuristic Summer. Now let's get into this. What did you think of the album, bro? Or should I just do a quick background first?
I think let's go over to a background. I did have a couple of points I wanted to give out on there. Now, we all know who Metro Booming is, a world renowned producer who has made some very big songs, especially within the late 2010s and the early 2020s. And especially with one of his biggest songs being from last year, like that, featuring Kendrick Lamar and Future being a collaboration on the album. He has made some fantastic work throughout the years, collaborating with some of the biggest artists in the world, and he is attempting to make a futuristic era kind of album with this new album here that has been given. But you can also touch on the background, and we get straight on to our thoughts.
Yeah, I think you did touch on it pretty well. I think you did touch on it pretty well. So yeah, let me just jump into my first impressions with it. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I find it a little ironic that he named it a futuristic summer because a lot of the beats here sound like a throwback to the 2000s and 2010s and the 2010s. Like those that are going to, love Southern rap from those eras will probably be pleased with this album. And I've also seen some of the reactions from the community and people saying this is some jolly yeah music and this and that's the best description of this album. Like this is really just a Disney Channel app produced album sounding album. Sounds like dude, this is some Nintendo shit. Like that's the best way I can put it. This is some Nintendo shit. It really is like a block party summertime type of album kind of vibe. And like on first listen, it really isn't my kind of album, to be honest. It really isn't my kind of album. I don't really listen to these type of albums, to be honest. I don't really bust a move or anything when I listen to music like this. And I mean I can't really dance in general, so I feel like this album wasn't really directed at me per se. But yeah, this album could fit perfectly in between 2013 and 2015. There's even a song on here called "Stealing All the Swag," and I didn't even know people still said swag. I thought I left that phrase, well, that word in high school. But yeah, like, what were your first impressions going into this, Rossi?
Honestly, I was very disappointed with this album, especially given the last few projects that Metro Booming has provided over to us. They have been quite good, to say the very least. And given that this one is it has a nostalgic root over to Atlanta and where he grew up with this futuristic vibe. I'm not gonna lie, it feels like a retro dumpster fire in my opinion. It's something that I don't really enjoy. Given that I am somewhat of a trap fan, I do listen to trap music from time to time. This album did not hit with me at all. Most of the track list on this album, they feel like generic beats that are just overcrowded with unnecessary features. The fusion between trap and dance just doesn't work out, especially with what Metro has provided. With this album, overall, I was very disappointed. It was very lackluster, and I actually couldn't wait to stop listening to this album.
Okay, that's funny. That's funny. But me too, actually. I'm not even gonna lie. Me too. Me too. But like, yeah, okay. So like my analysis, let me just get over this shit real quick. But so lyrically, dude, like if you're going into this album for the lyrics and you're honestly out of your freaking mind. If you're going into this album for the lyrics, you're out of your mind. Like the lyrics here really aren't the deepest, and it's just yeah. Some of them are actually quite genuinely like hilarious. Actually, I did find some of them quite funny. Like on one of the songs, like he goes, "This bitch is so bad she can reproduce my child," which is just like what the fuck. To me, it's just like yo, I just burst out laughing when I heard that driving on my way to work. I was just like, yeah, okay, kind of on the nose there, buddy. But yeah, this really wasn't aiming to be a serious album, and yeah, just some catchy songs to dance to, and a lot of the songs are actually they actually are quite catchy. Like some of the choruses, like the chorus from Butterflies and Stealing All the Swag. Also, the lyrics are what you'd expect from this lane of rap music, you know, just talking about twerking and sex and dancing and a fine shawty or whatever, you know. And aren't particularly any standout bars for me from any of the features. One of the bars is hella sus actually on the song Loose Screws. They say she's bad as a 2 year old, you know, she's as bad as a 2 year old child. And it's like, yeah, exactly, you know, like, yeah. Okay, Epstein. But yeah, let me just get into the production real quick. Yeah, the production wise, it really isn't Metro's best effort for me. Like he's definitely produced better albums, but it leans heavily into that pop lane, and it's quite electronic heavy too. Some of the beats sound like some shit I've heard from like Disney Channel or something on Disney Junior or whatever. Like nigga just put nigga just put trap drums on like a Disney Channel beat and called it a day. Really. Yeah, I feel like the beat from the song "Clap." I thought it had like you know pretty fire bass line at least. It low-key reminded me of something Spice One would rap on in the 90s. Also like Make It Make Sense. It has that haunted house, 3-6 Mafia, sinister feel to it, and I love that creepy piano riff in the song as well. Rocco also slid on that beat too, one of the features, and I loved his cold-blooded delivery on there too. Also, kind of like I like that it's one of the most standout beats on the album too. Nothing else on the record sounds like it too. It's also pretty catchy and also sung pretty well in the chorus. Plus, also there's little variation in the beats too. That's what I noticed in the production here. A lot of them just sound the same, like the same trap drums, the same Disney Channel, Nintendo app beats. At some point I just ended up zoning out because everything just sounded the same and stuff. So. Yeah, almost none of the guests also I really cared for, to be honest, when it comes to the features. It's just the usuals from the trap genre on this, like Two Chains, Quavo, Waka Flocka Flame, Gucci Mane, 21 Savage, Future, and Lil Baby. But nearly none of them had particularly memorable verses for me. Two Chains, Rocco, and Waka Flocka Flame are maybe the only exceptions, but largely the features were quite mid to me. So and also another thing, this album is hella long too. Like it really didn't need to be 24 songs long, bro. Like could have cut out a lot of what's on here to be honest. And like I do respect Metro's attempt at trying something new, but it fell flat for me. I see the vision, but its execution could have been a lot better. Or maybe it's just not for me. Maybe it's just not for me. But like yeah, I don't really particularly like Disney Channel ass music. So yeah, but what did you think, Rossi?
Yeah, I highly agree with all your points that you have brought up in terms of this album. In terms of the production, it's very meh from Metro. It's really not his finest work, probably his worst in terms of the production here, with you alliterating that it's basically trap beats over a Disney Channel as song, and it just doesn't really work very well. You know, you look at someone that Tyler who just released last week, and given that he also made something similar towards a rap dance album, you can actually tell the authenticity, even though it doesn't come with its own flaws. You can actually tell the authenticity that he had to take in terms of how he had to produce the album and the type of bars that he had to bring with the album. Even though not significant, it's still something that you can groove to. Whereas this, not
Yeah.
at all. Whack lyrics. Lyrics are absolutely whack. Actually surprised that you picked up some lyrics there from the album. I heard close to nothing in terms of that. It was just trappers being trappers. This feels like an album that I could have made at high school with my homies when I started off with this rapping stuff. I mean, it's very lackluster. It's just not, it's not good. It's not good in my opinion. The vocals are very weird. There is no significant structure to the album. It's very long. That's just basically what it is. It feels like Metro and all the rappers here basically got in the studio to have fun. It was basically a party. They decided, okay, let's just press record, see what comes up. No bars were written or nothing was too significant on that regard. It was just basically that vibe, and that's what you get from this album, to be honest. It's not in tune. It's not in sync. There isn't anything to look forward to the album. Like you said, Waka Flocka does have this delivery that is somewhat dope, but I
Engage.
wouldn't really consider it that. Yeah, it's just lackluster in general. The energy in this album is good, which I did really like. You can tell everyone was hyped for the album, but it just illustrates towards my point of it being majority of it. Metro and the gang basically just going to the studio with a couple of baddies making some songs there that they didn't really care about. Metro just thought, hey, let me just put this out for the summer. Unfortunately, it is not hitting for me at all. And the best song that I could even advise upon the album was Slide. You know, it was bouncy, it was fun. It's pretty much
Mm.
it. You know, it was pretty much it. I mean, the worst songs that I actually put onto the album here, Take Me There, Through the Loose Screws, My Little Shit, like these albums were absolute garbage. I will never listen to this album again. It basically irritated me, you know, given, you know, the stature that most of these trap artists and Metro Booming brings on. I mean, we had um we Don't Trust You and We Don't Trust You Too for Metro's last projects. We had the Spider-Man album, which is controversial, but it's an album that I can still really like and replay. This album is gonna miss me, for real.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. This album was like, nah, it just wasn't it, dog. It just wasn't it. It's
Yeah,
just felt weird and stuff. And
yeah.
like, nah, I don't think Metro, I don't think, you know, much thought went into this album, quite frankly. I do agree on like, you know, there be no flow or structure to this, but I guess maybe he was just aiming for like putting on like a bunch of loosies and be like, okay, here you go. This is a dance album. No concept
Basically,
of flow.
basically,
Yeah, I guess, yeah. So like, yeah.
basically,
Okay,
yeah.
so.
But we can jump over to our rankings here. I'm gonna give mine first-handedly. I'm giving this an F.
Okay. Before I get to mine, yeah, I'm also like, let me just, I didn't name my standout tracks. Let me just go over my pros and cons and a few standout tracks. Yeah. So yeah, I guess the pros here are that it's a nice throwback to previous eras of southern rap, but yeah, okay, that's pretty much it. The cons though, yeah, the cons like there's weak performances from like almost all the features, and the lyrics I really do not care for. I don't care about twerking or something, you know. Do I look like the kind of guy that twerks? So like, no, of course I'm not gonna be, you know, listening to that. And like nothing on here makes me feel like dancing or anything. So if you want to listen to a good summertime dance album, like Rossi said, just listen to Tyler's new record. That's a pretty good summertime dance album. But the standout songs for me, there really weren't that many. It's just clap, make it make sense, and I like that. Okay, now my verdict. I didn't feel this. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't feel this at all. I thought it was a little repetitive production wise. Most of the features were boring. Plus, I just didn't like this jolly ass Disney Channel vibe of the album. I really didn't like it at all. Like, what the fuck was this, Mitchell? What the fuck was this, bro? Like, really? Like, this, like, dog, this isn't a fairyland, dude. This isn't a fairyland, dude. Like, really. Like, honestly, Mitchell was on some la 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 when he made this album. Like, nah. Nigga was like, Nigga was probably like skipping in the field when he made these beats, dude. Like, you know, picking some
Yeah,
flowers or
no.
whatever. Like,
Yeah, don't
yeah, I
don't
really
don't give
hated
me
this.
the drugs they use in the studio. Nah, don't give me those drugs. I'm good. I'm good with
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
Honestly, I mean, this album was just too long. It was too boring. It was
Mm.
overcrowded, and I do not
Yeah,
recommend it at all.
definitely not. For me, it absolutely gets a freaking F. It absolutely gets an F. I'm sorry. Like maybe Metro will drop something better in the future. I have listened to a lot of his production and albums, and I've liked some of them, but like here, nah, this ain't it. This ain't it at all, yo. But like, yeah, let's wrap up the video, Rossi. Any closing thoughts, or should we just go on to our call to action?
We can just go on to our call to action. I mean, there's nothing really to say about this album. It's just bad. It's very bad. Metro, do better. Sorry. The features. Yeah, nah, man. Nah, nah.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so disappointed that it's funny, man. Like, given that, and you know me and Buddy, you know I used to be a very big track fan. I mean, this is just a fall from grace, especially given from the 2020s here and trap really falling off. You really had Metro coming in with some unique songs in a lot of albums that he came up with before this futuristic summer here. So this is just, it's just not it, guys. Don't listen to
Yeah.
this album. If you love yourself, just don't do that.
Yeah. Maybe if you guys just want like a good laugh, you can listen to some of the songs, because that's the best thing that I got out of this. But yeah, what did you guys think of the album? Did you guys like the album? Did you hate it as much as we did? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video. Like 80 to 90% of you guys aren't subscribed, but you guys are watching, so please do us a solid and like, hit the subscribe button. We're aiming to get to 100 subscribers. That's our next milestone, and we really appreciate it. But anyway, this is me and Rossi signing out. Peace.